What is going on, guys? As you can see behind me, we have the keys to a single turbo car pulled by the truck. If I can't explain the story on how this happened, I will explain it later. But basically, Nick and I returned this car to stock. We get the turbo kit, the Holley intake manifold that we'll show you is going on his
clutch,
turbo car.
Any fuel system components,
yeah.
Any suspension components, anything modded.
Anything modded on the car, we're putting stock stuff in, which I have. And I am getting the turbo kit, which I don't really want to sell. I really want to use it on something.
Let's put it on the S550, Andrew. Ashley, come on now. Turbo.
I think I got permission to go take it for a ride and test it out in Mexico before we take it all back apart. So we're gonna do that.
It's recording. Oh, it almost started. There we go. Do a little one right here.
Yeah.
Want.
Filming?
Yep. Blowing the tires off.
Ooh, no precision turbo.
Yep. Back there.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think it'd be cool if we could get a full pull, but hey,
Huh?
what are you gonna do, you know? Ride around.
We'll make one more loop around the back there. I just want to drive it just a little bit more.
She sounds good.
Yeah.
See, Ashley?
Can I do
It's what
one
you
more?
need. It's what you need, Ashley.
All right, so that was a little fun little drive in the single turbo setup. We didn't get to go too crazy, but not bad. So I'm sure the previous owner of this car is going to end up seeing this, and because he's actually in South Florida, he got a Raptor. So this is a oh man, how do we get ourselves into this? This is awesome. So we were taking the turbo kit off of this car, and exit, turbo exit. So I got all the stock parts for this laid out over here. We're gonna put a stock tune in it, cats, all this stuff, you know, stock intake. So I got a bunch of stock Coyote stuff. We're gonna make it happen, man. Which kind of sounds weird that we're excited to return something to stock, but this car is not mine. I did try to buy it, but it didn't work out. this deal ended up working out a little bit better. So the bumper has some quick connects on it. Makes it super easy to pull this thing off. Yep. Got a big intercooler on it. So about to see what kind of goodies we still have under the car. Oh yeah, it's still there. Dude, the drive shaft loop. And the drive shaft. I got a stock tube piece. Yes! I got a shaft masters.
It is leaking oil.
So it's got a BMR safety loop. It's got a Barton shifter on it, I think. Barton or an MGW?
Barton. I saw his Instagram.
Really?
It said Barton on it.
So,
yeah, it's a Barton. That's not an MGW.
BMR safety loop. Yeah, so I guess this kit uses stock manifolds. Comes around, links in there. This is actually really similar to how the Bullets.
You have to lift it up a little bit. Reposition it. It does have an oil relocation.
Yep.
From here.
Got some sick green piping, dude.
It's got a boost control solenoid, so it has to have a boost controller in it.
You didn't see the boost controller inside?
Oh, I thought that was a, I didn't even look at it. I thought it was like
Bruh,
something else.
It had 5 preset settings. We were only on setting 1.
You were driving. I was in the passenger seat.
It's got an MST 2-step on it too, as you guys saw.
It is leaking oil from the drain.
Yeah, not a problem. We're taking it all back apart.
Yeah.
It's missing the whole under tray right here.
That's not our problem.
Yep. 2 seconds later.
Could have gone under the bumper with it easily.
Yeah. So Nick's gonna get torn down. I'm gonna go pick up a catback for this thing, stock catback, because obviously it doesn't have one, and hopefully we can find a stock clutch for it.
Don't take too long, Andrew. You're gonna come back and it's gonna be stock.
Pretty much. I'm gonna leave the camera with Nick, so he's gonna film anything he finds interesting. And yeah.
Alright, so I got the manifold off, fuel rails, injectors. Got the turbo kit completely out, except for the headers. We gotta get those. Got the intercooler off, downpipe, all the exhaust. Working on getting a 2-step harness off right now. Precision, cast wheel, non-ball bearing. So it's a good turbo still. Definitely worth it. Tile, blow-off valve, twin turbo smart 38mm gates. And I actually stuck that intake on my car for a moment here. As we can see, she does fit, and the Aeromotive rails do fit with it. So that's good. And the hood closes. Don't mind the paint.
All right, so I got back here a little while ago. I've been helping Nick get this thing torn down. He's made some serious progress. I picked up some other parts from some local friends. Jeremy and VMP had a bunch of stock stuff laying around, so we got a transmission because this car actually has a broken 4th gear. And I talked to our friends over there, and they said, yeah, go ahead and put the transmission in it. I got a stock clutch here, stock exhaust, I got a stock intake, stock engine cover, got a stock catback with the mounts here, which is a lifesaver. We got basically everything we need to put this back to stock. We got some stock injectors around. The only thing I don't have today is a SCT tuner, which is coming in tomorrow to basically get this car running on a stock base tune. Stock manifolds and cats are going back in. It's getting close. So Nick is setting up his Holly manifold for Coyote Swap single turbo car.
Yeah, fancy new little, you know, trade-off in labor for some stuff.
Yep.
Gotta get a little bracket, fit the throttle body.
Yeah. Or a nitrous plate.
Or nitrous plate.
Nitrous plate also does work. So we're actually doing a little bit of a favor for our friends that we're borrowing the car from.
Yep.
And we picked up a MT82 with a good 4th gear. Well, actually good all gears. And We are taking the twin disc clutch, but it's going to be better for them because this one actually drives a little bit rough. It's very different than my Mantic. It's not bad, but it's very, very catchy, and I'm not really the biggest fan of it. But it is a clutch that will hold some power. So we're going to take that off, probably sell that, and I have a bone stock clutch to put back in here and a good transmission, which will make our friends very happy. All right, so we had an interesting last few hours. Turns out, so Ashley was actually bending her stock drive shaft bolts.
All 6 of them.
All 6 of them.
Yep.
So we went to go put that hardware in. Here's another little tip that we found out. Yeah, that's pretty bent.
Yeah.
So we didn't even know that when we put the one piece in because we pulled the stock hardware out and tossed it off to the side. So MT82s in 15 and up have a 3-bolt flange. Normal, right? Somehow this car, as well as the transmission that we got for the car as a replacement, had a 4-bolt flange. And we were like, why would it have a 4-bolt flange? Turns out, I think this car, yeah, I think this car, and as well as the car that this came out, they both had one-piece drive shaft swaps in them. I think they both had 11 to 14 drive shafts, which is the same length, but they have a 4-bolt flange. So for whatever reason, they were swapped to 4-bolt flanges.
Yeah, it's probably just a stronger way to do it.
Luckily, I had another spare MT82 with a 3-bolt flange to put a stock drive shaft in.
Yep. So we converted everything over, and
everything's legit. So we're gonna tune it. I have a SET X4 right here. We're gonna tune it with a stock base tune, and then we're actually gonna return it back to stock at Ford. But this is gonna get us off of the 1000cc injector map. And as you guys can see, we got a full stock catback, thanks to our friends VMP, as well as Jeremy. And we also got 3 bolts from Pitbull. So all our friends kind of came through. Stock exhaust is on the car. All right, so everything is pretty much good. We got a stock clutch in there. Really, we're almost ready to start. We're gonna add a little bit of oil from the oil drain lines.
I already did, so we're all good to go.
Already added oil.
Off.
Just a little bit of brake fluid, pump the clutch, and we even got the front bumper on.
Yep.
Woo-wee! The only way to tell that this car was turboed before is that.
Okay.
But I don't think there's anything, some people might be concerned. They're saying like, oh, well, this car was turboed and this and that. It sounds healthy. We're about ready to start it, so you guys will see that here very shortly. All right, guys, so a little bit of an update. We got the car all back together. And yeah, so the only way right now you would tell this was turboed before is the little hole in the bumper. Everything is all stock. It starts up. It is on the same tune that the turbo kit was on. So we're just gonna flash back to stock with an IDS. But look. Starts up. Idle's a little weird, you know, here and there. But it's all there. You know? So we're gonna put a stock tune back on it. It runs, drives, moves, all that. You know, it stalls right now, but starts right up. It just runs a little lean because it had big injectors before, and now it has stock injectors. Once you give it a little bit of gas, it's all good. So I'll show you guys once we get the stock tune flash back onto it, and I'm sure this thing is gonna be perfect, ready for the next owner. And we got all the gears too. I just need a shift knob. I just drove it around the corner. I don't want to drive it too much on a tune it's not like really lean. Like we can go to our air to fuel ratio. I mean, even our air to fuel ratio actually says it's going pretty good. You can see it goes a little lean. The 17 right there. So once we get a stock tune on this thing, it's gonna be perfect. All right, guys, so we got the S550 strapped down. We're gonna go drop it off. We're gonna flash the stock at the dealership. Then we're gonna say goodbye to the old S550.
Is this the first time you showed it clean?
I don't know if I showed it last night, but we cleaned it just to,
That's good.
yeah, just cause like we couldn't stand it being dirty. And
yeah, this car is pretty much ready to be sold. They're going to do some body work on the front bumper or replace the front bumper, paint it. It's a premium, it's got AC, it's a beautiful car, and it's healthy too. So yeah, we're going to go drop it off. Ruben, after a quick flash to stock from the IDS tool, we're in action, man.
We should be.
Don't hit the Lincoln, man.
Forget the Lincoln, don't stall out.
Ruben is my buddy here at Yeoman's. Sells cars.
Sell it all.
Yeah. And yeah, it's got all the gears, man. It's all stock. Bone stock. Air conditioned seats, heated seats.
Sorry.
How's it feel, Ruben?
She feels good. Feels real good.
You're a Ripski.
Much is loose.
No, that's they took out the helper spring.
Uh-huh.
Look, fourth gear works.
It does work.
Not bad, right?
No.
So this yellow 2015 Mustang GT was traded in. As you can see, it had a nitrous kit, turbo kit, clutch, had a broken fourth gear. There are a lot of really big issues for a dealership to sell a car like this, even to go to auction. So if this car went to auction with a nitrous kit and a turbo kit on it, and possibly, you know, it'd have to be listed as transmission issues, it's not going to sell for really anything. And obviously they gave a trade-in value on the car. So I know a few guys over there. I said, hey, look, I have all the stock parts to go ahead and put on this car, so that way you at least have a stock-ish vehicle that, you know, mechanically doesn't have any problems. The engine runs, the transmission runs. For the most part, we pretty much delivered on that. There's still a few odds and ends that weren't perfect. The reverse collar on the stock shifter was broken. The clutch helper spring, we didn't have one. That was removed, so the clutch pedal kind of you know, moves freely past. Obviously the clutch itself works, but it throws a wrench light from the clutch kind of moving out of position. I'm not a big fan of removing the helper spring, but it's not really a big deal there. Mechanically, I mean, the car had a stock clutch, a transmission that came out of my friend Jeremy's car with, I think, 20,000 miles, had a stock catback, stock cats, manifolds, stock intake manifolds, stock tune. We ended up getting the car flashed to stock with the IDS tool. We weren't able to use an SCT tuner to return the car to stock or basically flash over the strategy it was on, because it was actually a custom strategy. I believe the car was tuned by BBR originally. One other thing we found really weird with the car, and I guess this might be because of the helper spring or something. This might sound weird, but we couldn't get the car started. So when it was in the parking spot, I was putting my foot on the clutch, which that's all you have to do in these cars normally. You put your foot on the clutch, hit the start button, and it'll start. For whatever reason, this car requires you to have the clutch down and the brake down to hit the start button. No idea why that's the case, but when we got it all back together, we were trying to figure out why won't this thing start. You know, because on the lift, I'm not going to hit the brake pedal. I'm pretty much used to, you know, hitting the brake when starting a car. That's why when it started on the trailer, when we initially brought it over to the shop, you know, I had my foot on the brake because, you know, obviously it was on the trailer, so I wanted to prevent it from, you know, rolling back. So then we were like, oh, look, it started. So we ended up figuring out that the brake needed to be pressed to start the car. So long story short, the car got delivered. You know, there's a few odds and ends to button up, but you know, it runs, drives, stock. Basically, you know, it's there. I don't know if the car's going to auction or whatever. That's not my area, but they definitely have a car that'll sell much better at auction. So in terms of parts, I really was strongly considering putting the turbo kit on the S550. But I am kind of leaning away from it because the Whipple setup is so good and refined. You know, there's obviously no lag with a Whipple. The single turbo has a little bit of lag, but the single turbo would be way faster, straight line stuff. So there's some positives, some negatives. I'm just torn and I'm not really ready to do that. But I mean, I've always wanted a turbo one. And we have so many crazy things going on. So we have a new car coming, but keep that on the DL. It is going to be crazy. You guys are going to be so pumped. It is the craziest, most expensive car we've ever bought, and we're keeping it on the DL. But yeah, I'm excited for it. Crazy things are happening, and yeah, if you guys want to pick up any of the parts off this car, the BBR single turbo kit is going to be for sale. I also have the ZD twin disc clutch out of the car for sale as well. The BBR single turbo kit is listed for $5,500. I'll just throw it up on the website if you guys want to go buy it. If you guys have any questions, it's pretty much complete besides the oil return line that goes into the pan. Well, the line is there, just the tap, so you guys just need to tap that and just run some new vacuum lines for the blow-off valve and wastegate. Other than that, you pretty much bolt this thing on, put some injectors, and tune it. I also have a fuel pump booster open box for sale. That'll also be on the website. We also have the nitrous kit, but I think I'm just going to keep the nitrous kit. We'll use it for something fun later. So yeah, single turbo kit, the clutch. I'll put a few other used parts up on the website. I want to get these things out of here so that we can buy the new crazy thing, and you guys are going to be pumped. So I know there's been a lot of lag in terms of videos lately. Sometimes there would be 3 days in between videos. It's not because I'm being lazy. It's because literally I've been running around so busy lately. I haven't had time. Well, time to edit the videos and organize everything. Just been crazy busy. But anyways, we have a lot of things in the works, and it's going to be awesome. GT500 motor is still being built. We're going back and forth, you know, obviously filming some videos, clips of things being assembled, and then got to edit them, and it's all coming together, and it's going to be crazy. So make sure you stay tuned, subscribe if you're new, and I do want a Turbo Coyote at some point, but I don't think this is going to be the time, but it'll be later at some point.
Always look out